our news tonight. Isendimke host yenu Cwayita Zweni. As we all know, namhlanje it is our last Tuesday of the month, and we did dedicate the entire April month to autism. We are closing off that month with our speech therapist, who is Gabi Mc Donald, who is a qualified speech therapist who has worked with a lot of autistic people, be it children, be it adults. Later on the show, we also have Yolanda Vuthela, who is a gospel artist who will be telling us about the show that she will be having this coming Sunday, which is the second annual National Unity Festival, and that will be on our second segment of the show. Very warm welcome. Hi, Gabi. How are you? The line could be breaking a little bit there. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me? All right, so the line is kind of breaking on your side. We're just quickly going to greet Umam Yolanda Vuthela before we get back to you, while we just try and sort out that network glitch we currently have. Mamntlane kunjani?
Hi guys, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Siyaphila Nkosi. Sizawubuyela ke sithethe ngeshow yakho, i-second annual National Unity Festival, which is the first physical one, because last year you did host a virtual one because of the state of the country esasikuso at that time. Sizawuncokola ke ngaso now while we quickly sort out as a network issues that we currently have. We are gonna go on an ad break and we will proceed with the show after we come back. Please stay tuned.
Yeah guys, yeah siphila ke kuloma xesha nzima yamaxesha eCovid, and umongameli usanokubhengeza kuba siku-level 1, and ukufika kwethu ku-level 1 akuthethi ukuba i-COVID-19 okanye icorona iphelile, isaphakathi kwethu, sisaphila nayo. Ithi loo nto leyo, it's not business as usual nangoku. Kusafuneka silandele imiqathango kule mihla ke esiphila kuyo. I-live streaming yemingcwabo ndiyacinga nam uba yenye yezinto ekumeleyo ukuba wonke umntu okanye wonke ubani abuya yenza. Iyanceda ke kwelinye icala uba ufuna ukuthoba iindleko zomngcwabo. Ukunwenwa kwe-COVID ke ukubalula nje izinto ezimbalwa ke phakathi kwezinye. Kodwa ke don't despair, ungawari, because ke abakwa OurNews online bayaqinisekisa ukuba baniphathela ke le nkonzo, and ke yona nto baqinisekisa ngayo ukuba yinkonzo le efikelelekayo, kodwa iyafikeleleka. Yes, ungayibona wena ufikeleleka ucinga baza kunika nje baza kugqwagqwa. Iyafikeleleka kodwa ke ikwinqanaba eliphezulu kakhulu. Amaxabiso wabo aqala kancinci from 2,450
Yeah,
2,450 qha. Kufikelela kulula guys.
Welcome back to the chat of our news. I'm still your host, Cwayita Zweni, and tonight we are talking to Mamntlane Yolanda Vuthela, who is a gospel artist and who will be hosting her second annual National Unity Festival. That will be the first physical one, because last year she hosted a virtual concert, or a virtual festival. Mamntlane, khawusixelele ngale event. What is the event about?
Thank you so much.
Let me greet the viewership that is watching with us. First of all, let me apologize for the picture quality of my phone. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, all is well. The National Unity Festival is one of the events that I can say it's basically designed for artists that don't get opportunities to showcase what they have on big platforms. So when I got the vision, so I said to myself, because I'm an artist, I know what that pain, how does that feel when you want to showcase your talent and you don't have a platform. So I said to myself, let me start at home and make it a point that the artist at home will get the opportunity to be part of the festival. And also on the same breath, I would like to mention this, that this is one of the events that focuses on job creation. As you know, especially gospel artists, people, they tend to forget that we also work through our gifts, even if we are preaching through our voice, but it is also a source of income. So this is one of the events that make it a point that whatever that we have, being small or whatever, we make it a point that every artist that will be participating will get something back, will be paid, so that they go back home with something and put bread on their table.
Is the first physical festival that you are hosting due to the pandemic, of course, because you would have hosted a very physical one last year. Kasixelele, how are you as an artist? How are you, and how are you recovering from the pandemic? Because it has been a very long 2 years, especially for artists who put food on the table through gigs and through events that they do, but they or you guys could not do those events. Unjani, how was it?
Oh my God. The truth is we have not, we're still feeling the pandemic. We have not recovered yet. So doing such events like National Unity Festival, we're trying to recover. As you have mentioned that we had lost a lot, because I remember when the lockdown started, we were shocked because all our events were cancelled, including our bookings. So it's been tough. We have not recovered yet as musicians. But with the little that is happening in terms of the relief, we are grateful that we are going to be able to recover, and bit by bit we are getting bookings and also focusing on events like this. Okay, let me invite the viewers. Please, I invite you. On Sunday, we are meeting at the Orient Theatre. It's starting at 2 p.m., meaning you can go maybe to your church, local church, and join us later on at the Orient Theatre. 2 p.m. sharp, we are starting. The tickets are now available at the CompuTicket, only 850 to join us. So you absolutely don't want to miss this. As you see on your screens, the caliber of musicians that will be having. Am I allowed to mention the few? Okay. As you can see, we have the likes of Mutho Vuthela, my husband, Bethusile Mcinga, Xoli Mngcwangu from Joya Celebration, Lungelo Hlongwana, Luchayolelo, Jumbo Nyangiwe, Ginger Majeng, Intimate Worshippers. I mean, I'm just counting the few. So you absolutely don't want to miss this. I humbly invite you, and I hope to see you at the Orient Theatre this coming Sunday.
Hi again.
Hi,
How are you?
Very well, thank you so much. Your line is so much better now. So, just from your perspective, as a health professional who works so much with people who are autistic, how would you say autism? What would you say autism is according to your observation?
So, autism is a neurodiverse condition that's characterized by differences in different areas of our life. So, areas such as communication, social communication, sensory processing differences, repetitive behaviors, or special interests. And we call autism a spectrum condition. And a lot of people, I just want to clear this up because a lot of people think, okay, it's a spectrum, it's a straight line, and you either land here and you're high functioning or you land here and you're low functioning. But in actual fact, I actually drew a picture to show you guys. A spectrum kind of looks like this. So there are all the different areas, and maybe in this area, such like motor skills, they're doing really well, or they're struggling a bit with the sensory, or they're doing really well, like all right with language. And this picture looks different for every person and every child with autism. So I would say it's something that's different for every person that has it. And yeah, and it's characterized by those broad areas, differences in them.
However,
Exactly.
on the bright side of things, what would you say was your or is your success story or your best success story on an autistic patient?
I know this might sound silly, but for me, the best moments are when you find like that key that unlocks the child or the person, like that one special interest that finally gets them to trust you and that makes them want to interact with you. So, for example, it was this little kid, completely non-verbal, very like untrusting and didn't want to be social. And all of a sudden, we found the toy, a little toy car that they really wanted to play with. And then suddenly they're sitting on my lap and they're passing me the toy and saying a little word like vroom vroom or something. And it's just such a exciting moment because then you can see how much you can push that person and how much they can grow.
All right, and I don't know how many languages you know. However, I just wanted to know: is it possible for you to have a patient who is non-English speaking, or in this effect in Fort Beaufort we are almost all of us are Xhosa speaking. Well, a lot of us. And is it possible for a Xhosa speaking patient to have an English speaking therapist? Who and is it effective in any way?
Almost definitely it is. As much as possible, I always try to do my therapy in the home language of the child, so I'll try my best first for them. But it shows you the importance of the role of the caregiver, because everything I'm doing with the child in my session, it's more useful if it's carried over at home and it's tried at home. So for me, it's important to speak to the caregiver of the child to show them the activity, to demonstrate it for them, and for them to do it together with me there so I can help them so that they can do it at home. Because that's where the carryover really is and where the difference really starts, is at home. And if we struggle, like if there is a big language barrier and I can't bridge it, I have the most amazing colleagues who are always willing to sit with me, and we translate for us in our sessions. And there's so many ways to bridge a language barrier, and I think it's so wrong for a patient to be excluded because they don't speak English or because I don't speak like their home language properly. So there's always a bridge to connect us.
That is beautiful. Another question though, I came across. Oh, by the way, I am an autism mom as well. I have a 6-year-old son who's autistic, and I came across through a support group that I'm currently in. I came across a parent who said her son lost speech at the age of 4. So the son was talking and he had those, those incoherent sounds that they usually make. So he did have those sounds and he was kind of speaking. Is it possible for a person or a child to lose speech at such an age, or even at any point for an autistic person to lose speech?
So I wouldn't say lose speech completely, but it's definitely possible for them to regress. that's quite a typical trait of what makes someone realize a parent take their child to a doctor or to someone like, my child was speaking, but now they stopped or they can't anymore. And that is a typical presentation of what can happen with autism. But I don't think that they have lost the skill entirely. I think there are just other factors influencing their speech. But it is also possible for a child to be completely nonverbal. For example, they don't speak at all or they don't use language at all. And in those cases, us as speech therapists will either try to help them build their pre-language skills up, which what we would do with that child as well, like build those pre-language skills and then on their language skills, or in the meanwhile, offer them a different way to communicate. So we love to talk about AAC, which is alternative communication. So it's either pointing to pictures or showing with signs or any system where the child or the person can still communicate their needs and interact with other people. Because humans are so social and communication is the basis of so much. It just doesn't have to be restricted to language.
All right, and to our almost last question, what would you say to mothers or caregivers of children who are autistic in this type of a setup or in this area that we are in? We don't have schools, we basically have nothing for our children in our town. And what can your words of encouragement be to parents who have children who are autistic?
I would say firstly to remember that you are not alone, and I know it is definitely not always easy, but to find people who you can rely on for yourself, because you as a mother or a caregiver also have a lot to deal with, especially having to take care of the extra special needs of the child. So find people who can support you, whether it's the hospital or whether it's a friend or another person who has a child with autism. Secondly, I would say patience is your best friend. Try understand the world from your child's perspective. If you don't know how to do that, speak to someone who can help you. And the last thing would be to try and embrace neurodiversity and the strengths of your child that they do have. Because often with the neurodiverse community, they are amazing visual learners. They have great attention to detail. They are creative. They can come up with interesting solutions for problems. And there's so many strengths that they have. And I would say focus on those to help give you strength as well.
All right, Gabi, and another thing, the last question now. What is the way, or where can a person start, or a caregiver or a mother start if they want help for their autistic children or an autistic person they're currently staying with?
Well, if you are in the Fort Beaufort area, you can always bring them to Fort Beaufort Hospital. There's a rehab team with occupational therapists, speech therapists, physiotherapists, all there, and the doctors also are there and ready to help. They can offer medication, we can offer therapy and information for you. And I think a great thing that we could start as a community project is perhaps support groups for caregivers of people with autism, because I feel like there are so many moms who would love to speak to another mom. And so I would say come to the hospital. We'd love to see you.
All right, Gabi, thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming through to our news tonight. We really do appreciate you talking to us. And that is it, Kembugeli Osekaya Namhlanje. With the chat of our news, we were concluding the month, which was April, and it was Autism Awareness Month. We had dedicated the entire month. And coming up on our news, we have on Sunday, the 1st of May, our Word program. We also do have tomorrow on the 27th of April, we will be profiling Nakanjani Breakfast Show on Dlambe FM in Port Alfred. We will be there physically with them live streaming a segment of the show tomorrow morning. And you can watch that through on our news online on Facebook or on any channel that you are currently watching us from. And we do have Word on the 1st of May. Word is our church here on Our News. That is where we show our appreciation to God, and that is where we actually praise God on Our News. That will be on the 1st of May. And now, closing off our show, we do have an amazing poem. We have an amazing poem from an autism grandmother who is based in Port Elizabeth, who has done a poem for us on the chat of Our News, and we will be closing the show with that poem. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.
Sidodo bambi bathi ndigqithekile, bambi bathi ndiliswangusha, kanti ndilibhongo kusapho lwam. Ndiluncumo kubazali bam, umehluko yi-autism akukho tshintsho, kwekho intswelalwazi inzima. Ukuphulaphula sisakhono endisiphosileyo, hayi abazali abaphosanga ukundiqeqesha. Bantu bakuthi khanizikise ukucinga, niqiqe nibazi indlebe nisondele ngenyameko, nisifunde nisazi i-autism ayidluli. Yintando kaThixo le, kwathiwa thabatha olusana ulwanyisi, kwekho intswelalwazi inzima. Ndiphazanyiswa nayinyambalala nempithizelo, indimbangele ukubaphazamisa abo bandithe ntsho. Kube sisankxe ndikhala ndingqesha ndixhuma. I need my space kuba ndingumjojo. Ndikhulule ndibe njengoko ndazalwa. Andizenzisi kutsho le iphantsi kweenwele, kwekho intswelalwazi inzima. Yingxaki ezikolweni nasekuhlaleni asamkeleki, kanti nakuluntu gabalala nakwiintsapho zethu. Sililifa lentsini kootitshala nakubantwana. Sizizithuko ezigcwele intiyo, kazi kuphi ukonwaba. Masiphathwe ngokulinganayo nathi singabantu. The doors of education shall be open for all, kwekho intswelalwazi inzima.